I'd like to talk to you about the topic of change. And I've alluded to it several times in our meditation this morning that change is in the air. And change has been all around us. So, this topic of change is not just specific to this week. But I think it's an important topic because this is an important time in history. Astrologically, this month, we have a new moon coming up on the 6th in Libra, and we're in the season of Libra. Libra is about fairness. It's about a lot of the beauty, but it is also about truths and judgments and all the things that the sign of Libra can bring forth. But then on the 20th, we have a full moon, and I'm not an astrology person. I'm rephrasing for this, but I think it's an impactful time. It's in the sign of Aries, and the sign of Aries is ruled by Mars, which is all about action, and it's all about cutting through. And there's a lot of changes in the planets right now, and this will start the change of upheavals. It will change a lot of things coming forward that we think that we have been in a whirlwind of change. A lot of the world is in divide. This change is not over yet, and I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that everybody has to keep their vibration very high. And so when you start to go into your own judgments, when you start to go into your own critical nature, whether it is about yourself or the outside world, I'd like you to go back inside and just connect back to who and what you can change, which is you. And stay on a higher vibration if you can. Easier said than done, but with the changes that are occurring, the changes that will be occurring, it's really important for all of us to fortify our own energy fields. And so when I talk about change, in our meditation, we do the circle of light and circle of roses. The red roses are designed to protect your energy. And the reason why I say to do that is that energies are so blended, more so than they ever have been. And so if you're not protecting your energy in the world in which we live, which is highly digital, highly virtual, the challenge is that when we do that and we don't protect our energy, energies are just kind of flowing in and out of our bodies. And so it becomes much more challenging then for us to understand, is this my energy or is this somebody else's? So as we're going through change, I think it's really important for each and every one of us, even if you do the circle of light and circle of roses with those red roses around you, I want each and every one of you protecting your energy right now. And just tap back in. The only person I can change is myself. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to look at your own changes you're trying to make in your life. And sometimes we've been preparing for big changes, and sometimes it's the littler changes that are going to start building up and leveraging to that big change. So think about for just a moment, where are you in your change process? So when I'm dealing with companies and I'm talking about change, I talk about it this way. There are changes that happen that we have really no control of. So here's an example. An earthquake happens and it's a 7.1. Chances are stuff is going to break. Your house might, be challenged foundationally. There's a lot of things that happen. Last year with the fires, there's things that happen to us. That's a physical change. That change happened. There's nothing we can do about it except for now work on the mental, emotional, and spiritual side of the change you're trying to create. And usually after that physical change has happened, we have to catch up to that. We may be in trauma. There may be challenges. Who knows? Physically, we have to get safe. There's a lot of things that happen when there's been a change that has been put on us or has happened to us that we are in the effect of. And then there's patterns, and there might be more subtle. There might be more, emotional or mental changes. I want to feel more alive or healthy. I want to feel more loving to myself. And so as I become more loving to myself and making those changes, then what happens is the physical world starts to catch up with that change. So changes happen on different levels. They happen in a physical level, they happen on a mental level, they happen on an emotional level, and they happen on a spiritual level. And I'm going to share this analogy so you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's an easy one to kind of tap into. So let's say I was a smoker and I wanted to stop smoking. Physically, I want to be more healthy. That's why I want to make that change. Okay. So I'm going to be more changed. I'm going to make this change. I want to be more healthy. And so I'm going to make a physical change of stopping to smoke. Now, here's the challenge with that. If I have not dealt with the mental mindset of that change, the emotions of why I'm smoking, and connected to my value system, which is I value health, then guess what? Those changes may be more difficult for me to make. So I want you to think about your own changes you're wanting to make in your own life. And I'd like you to go through physically, health. I want to be healthy. That's why I want to stop smoking. Mentally, where's my mindset? Okay. Do I have a strong and courageous and brave mindset? Are there anything physically that I can do to help myself stop smoking? Right? Acupuncture, whatever it is. Okay. More sleep, less stress. Then I want you to look at emotionally. Usually that's the area that catches us with these patterns. Emotionally, what do I get out of smoking? I get something out of it. There's a benefit from that. So if I can understand the benefit and replace it with something more healthier, my need to be healthy will be matched with my emotional vibration. And then spiritually, you want to fortify your value system. If you value health and yet you're smoking 5 packs a day, do you see how that's not aligned with your value system? So really break it out in those 4 areas and see where you are in the changes that you are wanting to make in your life. And write down, do a little bit of soul searching this week around your changes. It's really easy to loop and say, oh my gosh, I want to make this change. Why haven't I made it? All these different types of self-talk that we use to keep ourselves in the same place, same time, same bat channel. It is time for a change. The change is happening all around you. It can happen to you or with you. So, what changes do you want to make in your life? Break them down physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and see where you need to fortify yourself in that area of change. All right, with that said, I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to open it up for discussion.